crafters, guess what time it is? It's paper pumpkin time! We are so excited about the beautiful scenery that is provided in this kit. So we have created 4 additional cards, so make sure you stay with us to the end. We're going to create 2 alternatives together today. Please take a moment and like, subscribe, and share our channel. We're working very hard to grow our channel this year, and we need your help. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. The first card we're going to make is a fun fold that looks just like this. You're going to need your cardstock cut at 7 and 5.5. And now we're going to make some score lines. So go ahead and put it in and score on the long side 1 3/8. Now just move it on over and score at 5 5/8. And what that does is it gives you 1 3/8 on each side. So if you didn't want to move it over, you could always just flip your cardstock and score at 1 3/8. So that's all the scoring that we need to do on this card. Let's go ahead and bring in our bone folder and just reinforce that score line on both sides. Now the next thing you need to do is you need to cut a strip of DSP, and we opened up the envelope in our kit and just cut this. Isn't that gorgeous? We love those colors. And we also then cut a coordinating cardstock, and this is simply 2 3/4 by 5.5, and we embossed it. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay this down right in the middle, and you're going to need to make sure if you emboss it that you put enough glue on it to go ahead and get in those crevices. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're just going to line this up right in the middle and just press it down so that you can really get on those raised portions of that cardstock. And now we are simply going to line this up, line it up until you get the exact amount. And there you can tell we have it. We're simply going to use our tape runner right here on just the very end and fold it over. And now we have our fun fold. Now what we did is we simply used the beautiful stamps that come with this kit. We have stamped these flowers and put some leaves on the flowers and cut them out, and we are simply going to cascade them over the front of this card, just like this. So we can see that we need a little bit of glue right here. You don't want to close this, so make sure you're very aware of where you're putting your glue. And then we're simply going to cascade this one over just a little bit, and we're going to attach it to this flower. Now on this one, we're going to set it up on dimensionals. Just take off the backing and just line it up where you want it. And now here is the front of our card. You open it up, and we're simply going to add the inside, but first we're going to stamp it. And now we are going to bring in the darker color. Now, a good tip for this on this little bitty leaf that they share with us in the kit, go ahead and just line it up right here on the corner of your stamp set, and that way you'll just get the tip of it. We really love this little leaf that they provide in the kit. So let's go ahead and lay this down. And now we have simply cut out Best Wishes, and this is from the kit, and we're going to lay it right here. It's always a good idea when you have a sentiment strip, so that it doesn't look so flat, to go ahead and just highlight it around the edges, and for some reason it just makes it stand out a little better. Okay, and now we are ready to add this to the front of our card. And there we have it. Look how beautifully this opens up. You have this coordinating color. You added this beautiful DSP from the envelope, and that is our first card. Now let's move on to our next card, which is a panoramic card. Look at this, so pretty. And all we did was we selected one of the cards, just like this, and we went ahead and we cut it to the exact measurement that we needed. So we are going to cut it to 3.5 by 4 1/4 tall. 4.5 tall. So let's go ahead and just do that. Now we have exactly the view that we want to see. So the next thing you have to do is we're going to go ahead and cut this just the way we need it. But because it spreads out on the card, you need to cut from each side. So right here, this little part, we need to go ahead and cut 1/4 inch. And go ahead and just line it right up on your desktop so that you have it. The next one is going to be 1/2. The next one is going to be 1 inch. And now we're going to start again going the other way. So we know this size has to be 1/2 because we want this one to be 1/4. So that's our 1/2. And we need this one to be 1/4. And we'll have a little extra left over. We'll just put that to the side. You need to make sure and find a focal point that you're going to line up. And for us, we're going to line up the base of the mountain. So on this particular strip right here, we need to cut 1/2 at the top and 1/2 at the bottom. Very easy, but you do need to make sure that you cut it at the top and the bottom, because you need to keep that focal point right in the center. So we're just going to turn it over and cut it off at 1/2. And put it right back where it's supposed to go. Now this one, because it's not quite as short, we're simply cutting off at 1/4, the top and the bottom. Turn it over, cut it at the top 1/4. See how pretty that looks? Okay, now on this middle one, you don't cut it at all. Now move over to this one, and we know that it's 1/4 on the top and 1/4 on the bottom. We know the little tiny one is 1/2 on the top and 1/2 on the bottom. Once again, making sure that you're lining up your focal point, and there we have it. Now the only other thing, you need to cut a coordinating color to be the background of this. And we have decided that is going to be our Night of Navy. And so what you need to do, you need to cut it 1/8 inch bigger for the background, because that'll give you a 1/16 on each side. So we know that this is 3.5 in length. So we're simply going to, and we know it's a 1/4 inch. So go 1/4 inch, go 1/8 past that. And now go 3.5 and go 1/8 past that. And there we have our first panel. We're simply going to glue that on, and we have a 1/16 all the way around. So just line that up. Take this piece, the height of it will be 4 1/8. And we know that it is 1/2 inch. So we're simply putting it at 1/2 inch and going 1/8 past it. Now, you already have this, so let's go ahead and cut the other side. Just do 1/2 inch and 1/8 past it. So we have these panels. While we're here, let's go ahead and just cut this panel. We know that this is 1/4, so we need it to be 1/4 and 1/8 past it. And our height was 3.5 and 1/8 past it. And now we simply need to cut the background for this one. It is 4.5 in height, so we need 4.5 and 1/8 past it. And it's 1 inch, so we need to cut it 1 inch and 1/8 past it. And now we have our panels. So let's go ahead and glue our panels together. And there we have our panels cut. Now we simply need to add it to the card. So we are taking this beautiful pink and we are simply adding a white mat to it. And now we are going to stamp right down here so that we know exactly where to put our beautiful panoramic. And now we are going to just look at this and line it up in the center, making sure that we have a little bit of white space in between. We just want to get a visual of it before we glue everything down. Now, as you're gluing this down, you want to make sure that you are aware of your focal point, and we decided it would be the base of the mountain. So this is the base, so you need to make sure that you're consistently lining up that. So I think this is right where we need it. So I'm going to lay down this middle part first. And we will work our way out. Going to put it right in the center. Now we need to have the same distance, so I'm just going to get my focal point lined up. And we'll go ahead and just line this up. Now we'll move over to the right side. And now we're going to move to the inside of the card and simply lay down our mat. And we are going to stamp thinking of you. Just a little note, thinking of you. And there we have it. How pretty is this? Now let me give you a tip. I would recommend that you cut your rectangle exactly the size you need it, and then go ahead, make your strips and take time to cut your background. Then you have everything lined up and it's so easy. Now here is a different version of the card. We use different colors. We use that Misty Moonlight and we used Highland Heather. Here is the card, the fun fold that we made earlier. As you can see, these beautiful pink colors. Well, we made another version of it and we used the gorgeous grape. How beautiful is that? We also used a different embossing folder and we decorated the inside. So we have two different colors to show you. Now our next card that we created as an alternative, we actually used this die set that comes from the Color and Contour bundle. And this is such a pretty die. Look at how we did the outside. Oh my goodness. We also took a ribbon and we threaded it through one of the holes and just taped it to the back side of this. Now you can see that we raised this up on dimensionals to give it the height. We also used one of our label makers to go ahead and punch a coordinating color, and then we split it down the middle and just brought it out to give it some focus right here on the edge. We used a coordinating color underneath it so that you could see it through these beautiful scalloped edges. and then we stamped it on the inside. Once again, using that beautiful leaf, and this is simply the inside of the flower in the kit. Next, we created this fun Z-fold. Look at this one. We took our envelopes again and simply cut them apart, used this as DSP, and then the beautiful embellishments that they include in the kit, and we simply use that as our sun. How pretty is that? And we added that cute little raffia bow. Now, remember, you can write on the back of this card, so go ahead and remember to put a white piece of paper. And we have a video on this one. It'll be listed below this video. The next one that we created, oh my goodness, we used Picture This dies. We love these. And we also have a video on how to do this listed below this one. Look at that. How beautiful is that? We used that beautiful circle that they had. We used one of the cards and just cut it apart. Once again, we used that little inside of the flower with the leaves. So pretty. And finally, we have this fun fold, which we also have a video listed below. Look at how pretty that is. It's a gatefold. We embossed this. We created our own background with the flower stamps and then put this beautiful celebrate. Well, we hope you enjoyed our paper pumpkin alternatives. We sure had a lot of fun making them. We hope you go out and make it a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.